Seems to be a theme. Talked yesterday about the ICE raids where American citizens were detained, their documentation demanded, as though this is Nazi Germany. Where are the papers? Yeah, can't do accents. There's another element to this that is very Nazi-esque, very fascistic, and that is requiring, not encouraging, requiring federal employees to inform on one another, to rat one another out if they are involved in DEI, the scary, DEI. Republicans are just weaklings and snowflakes. Here's the NBC News headline. Federal employees are told to name colleagues who work in DEI roles or risk adverse consequences. Emails sent to government workers at numerous agencies gave employees 10 days to report if a colleague's job relates to diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. Federal employees received emails Wednesday warning that they could face repercussions if they do not report on coworkers who work in diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility positions that might have gone unnoticed by government supervisors. Quote, "We are aware of efforts by some in the government to disguise these programs by using coded or imprecise language," said emails sent to government employees and obtained by NBC News. Employees were directed to notify the Office of Personnel Management if they are, quote, "aware of a change in a contract description or personnel position description since November 5th, 2024, to obscure the connection between the contract and DEIA or similar ideologies." Quote, "There will be no adverse consequences for timely reporting this information," the email said. However, failure to report this information within 10 days may result in adverse consequences. You will report on your coworkers. You will inform on them. The dear leader demands it. Workers across multiple agencies and departments have received emails with the same language as of Wednesday night. White House spokespeople did not immediately respond to questions about the nature of the adverse consequences or how the directive could be enforced. The Office of Personnel Management issued a memo Tuesday directing the heads of departments and agencies to send the notice to employees by 5 p.m. on Wednesday. The office provided a template email that multiple heads used. It is unclear if any department or agency head altered or omitted the DEI reporting language to their employees. The Trump administration had also called for agency heads to place federal employees in DEI roles on paid leave by the end of workday Wednesday. If you work in a diversity, equity, and inclusion role, you're on paid leave as of Wednesday. And they're asking for people to inform, to rat on coworkers. What's next? Informing on neighbors, requirement, or adverse consequences will befall you because of the scary DEI, because of an effort to make our government look more diverse, because diversity is a benefit. It is a strength. If I mold my work, American policy, we'll make it broad. If we mold American policy through a bureaucracy that looks like me, that's lived a life like me, growing up in rural white areas like me, then the government and policies will serve mainly people like me. When the United States doesn't just look like me. The United States is a diverse tapestry of religions, of lived experiences, of ethnicities, of belief systems, of believing certain things are more important than others, and policy should reflect that. But that's not what Donald Trump wants. That's not what Project 2025 wants. That's not what the wildly white administration wants. They want policy to cater to me, middle-class, straight white guys who feel so afraid now. I just don't know what to do. Black people can vote. They have a voice. Gay people exist. Oh, there are trans people. Oh my God, what will we tell the children? They're just fucking cowards and weaklings. Trump signed an executive order on his first day in office Monday to shutter DEI and accessibility mandates, policies, programs, preferences, and activities in the federal government under whatever name they appear, they say here. These programs divided Americans by race, wasted taxpayer dollars, and resulted in shameful discrimination, said the OPM template letter for agency heads to distribute to employees. DEI divides people by race, says the group that is now putting people on administrative leave because of their race. You think white people are going to be subject to the adverse consequences here, or is largely the first salvo in this attack on our culture and our society? Is it are black people and brown people going to bear the brunt of it? Like anything else in America, white people are going to make it out. We're going to be okay. Because the system, for so long, has been tailored to us, to me. Yeah, I grew up poor, very poor, in a tiny rural little mountain town in Idaho. And have I worked hard? Yeah. But have I been exceedingly lucky because of just the immutable characteristics that I was born under, the conditions I was born under? White, straight, 6'3", all of these things. I wasn't born 6'3", but you get it. All of these things are just luck. They're just the happenstance of my birth. That I was also born into the system in the United States that tailors the benefits to me. The move is the latest in a series of anti-diversity efforts Trump has made already. On Monday, he also signed an executive order saying that U.S. policy would recognize two sexes, male and female. Also this week, and this is the last paragraph here, Trump revoked an executive order aimed at prohibiting discrimination by federal contractors and subcontractors. The decades-old order had required, quote, affirmative action and prohibits federal contractors from discriminating on the basis of race, color, sex, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, or national origin, according to a summary by the Department of Labor. So they've revoked anti-discrimination hiring policies for contractors. I mean, this is why I say be genuine and take care of one another. Because in a small way, you can make a difference here at your local level, getting involved, volunteering, going to city council meetings, writing your Congress people, especially writing your Congress people if they're right-wing dipshits. I know people say, it doesn't matter. It's not going to make any difference at all. If you flood the zone with your communication, and not just you, if you can get your friends and your neighbors and your community members who live in your congressional district to do so, they know, they notice. One person's not going to make a giant difference, just like one vote doesn't make a giant difference, but collective action does. Anyway. What do you think? I would appreciate your contribution to this conversation. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me as always, daily@dollemore.com. I do want to hear from you. Consider supporting this work, helping me make these videos. You can become a channel member by clicking join below, or you can go to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Again, for the who knows how many times, be genuine. Take care of one another.